द हरप्रीत सिंह शो के अज के इस एपीसोड में आप सब का करदा हाँ हार्दिक स्वागत। थोड़ा मेरा साथ होया करता है मंडे टू फ्राइडे सवेरे 7 तो लैके 8 बजे तक, मंडे टू थर्सडे रात को 10 तो लैके 11 बजे तक और सैटरडे को 2 बारी सांझ पाने दोपहर 2 तो लैके 3 बजे तक और रात 8 तो लैके 9 बजे तक। इस प्रोग्राम का मकसद होंदा तुहानू एजुकेट करना, इनफॉर्म करना ताकि तुसी इंपावर हो सको, होवे भावें पॉलिटिक्स, इकनॉमिक्स, स्पोर्ट्स, लाइफस्टाइल, हैल्थ इशूज़ या फिर कम्यूनिटी प्रोफाइल। पर उस दे नाल सानू बड़ा मान है कि उत्तरी अमरीका में एक इकल्ला ही प्रोग्राम है जिहड़ा कि हर रोज़ तुहाडे घर में आके रिलीजन ऑब्लिक स्पिरिचुअलिटी बारे डिस्कशन करता है। सो अज दे इस प्रोग्राम का आगाज़ करते हैं इस इंटरव्यू के नाल।
Welcome back to the Gurpreet Singh Show. Today we have with us Gurpreet ji, who has done a few segments with us on enlightenment and her book that she's written around waking up to our true selves. Today we're going to talk to her about anger and how we can look at our anger and how we can actually all of our viewers I think would agree that many of us want to be able to control our anger. Although it's a healthy emotion, we want to be able to use it in a healthy way. So let's just see what Gurpreet has to say about this topic. Welcome to our program.
Thank you.
So Gurpreet ji, we've looked at different aspects of spirituality, and one of the biggest patterns a lot of people want to work on is their anger, and so they can better relate to their families or to their colleagues. How does one go about looking at anger and actually controlling their anger?
Because a person experiences the anger and then feel bad about it and then try to control it.
Yeah.
Because it's not about controlling and trying to just be different than that.
Yeah.
And when even the person trying to be different than that, and then person is going into the more narrowness in your own self, and then anger just take even more uglier position inside.
Yeah, like rage.
Yeah,
right?
it's just like it becomes ugly. Anything you control within, it becomes ugly. And when I say you don't need to control the person right away, just go, so that means I need to release it. It's not also about releasing. It's about just stay aware about your anger. Not only when you just in the action of anger. Not only that moment you just recognizing that how much anger you have within, right? So once you recognizing, then you just learn to stay aware about your anger, and then slowly go more deeper inside, where you just seeing it. What is underneath the anger, right? What is underneath is just you expecting something. It's not happening, and then you just becoming angry.
So it's a disappointment, like a result of disappointment that you have that's deep within.
Yeah, but the disappointment is because you're expecting. Expectations are there. Yeah, yeah. So more there are expectations, either from someone else or even from your own self. And then if the person is a more like in a shallow level, and the person really go into the anger first. Okay. Yeah. So it's not like you're gonna control the anger first. You just, as you stay aware, just begin to stay in the recognition of your own expectations. Yeah, you stay more aware about the expectations. So more you staying there, you just seeing it, it's me, right? If you just keep seeing it as me, and then you just begin to become more softer with your own self, where you just seeing you. Yeah, because if you're not seeing your own self with the arrows outward, you become more harder. Then you're just trying to do just this control or just get out of anger or participate in the anger. You just in the action more.
So let me see if I got this right. So the anger that you're feeling is a result of, like, one, you have expectations of the other party, right? Or it's a control issue that I want to be able to control this other person, and now I'm not able to control them, and so I'm really angry. But what about when anger comes from, like, say somebody, butt in line in front of you, and people get mad about that, or somebody cuts you off in the car. So I don't really have an expectation of that other driver, or is it my expectation that they're going to be courteous? Is that?
It's because of the person is already in the shallow, like more you're on the shallow level, and easier you easily get angry. right? So more you are in the deeper in your own self, and you just watching it. Somebody's just cutting it. You just seeing it. That's all. It's not doing anything to you. Yeah, because what it does to you is only when you're in the shallow, and then you just go too much in the mind. Right away, just mind start analyzing it. Why this person did it, like, you know, just on. Yeah.
But sometimes the anger, it could be around, I want to talk a little bit about betrayal. So we live in a society, we have relationships, and we do have a lot of dishonesty in this world, whether we want to look at the bigger world, which is like we've got politicians that we kind of say we can't trust our political system. We can't, we have family relations, like our own brothers and sisters might be disloyal to us. So how do I learn to not get angry, or how do I learn to even trust in a society that's so full of dishonesty?
Yes, we cannot change the society. You cannot change anyone around you, whether they are your children or your parents or extended family or bigger level or political level. You cannot change anything. But what you can see is you, that how you are participating in the dishonesty, right? Because otherwise a person says, okay, this many people, they're dishonest, I have to be dishonest also.
Right, either I join them, or how do I change?
You don't need to change, but just recognize.
Should I become dishonest?
No, you just recognize your own dishonesty within, right? So even the arrow goes outward, goes in the judgment, because so many people are in the participation of dishonesty. Your judgment goes there. You bring back in you that I am judging, right? And once you just begin to see just you, keep seeing you, and then your picture about the world changes. It doesn't stay same. It's only when person is so much in it, and then person's picture already is about the belief system. And person saying, I'm seeing it, this person is being dishonest, I'm being betrayed. But you being betrayed because you were out.
Can you say more about that? Like, what do you mean you were out?
Not within yourself.
Oh, I see, okay.
When you're out, then you're participating all in your weaknesses, right? All in your judgment, all in your wants, needs, right? You just so indulge in your desires, beliefs. If you're out in everything, anything can happen to you. You only wake up when you just cannot bear that, what you're experiencing from outside. Then you say, okay, this person did this. But actually, when you're gonna come back in your own self, you discover you, keep discovering you, you're gonna find yourself in the end. It was you.
Okay, well, that's a great place to stop and just have a short break, and we'll be right back and continue this conversation.
Okay.
Welcome back to the program. We're talking to Gurpreet ji about discovering ourselves and actually seeing our truth. So Gurpreet ji, before the break you were talking about discovering ourselves and just knowing who we are. But like, what about people out there that have been victimized? Like, so how do they learn to forgive? Because they are, like there's rapes that happen in our world, there's murders that happen in our world. And how do they learn to like forgive and not be angry at the person that's perpetrated this act?
Yeah. It's just like anything you're holding within. You just see you are the one holding it instead of trying to forgive outward. Because trying to forgive outward, like I am trying to forgive. Right. I have to forgive. It'll free me. It just focuses again outward. Okay. Because this is why the person don't learn how to be within, because everything person is trying to do outward. Right?
Well, I think also people are trying to understand why like bad things happen to good people, right?
But again, this is again person need to come within And this is where you're going to see it, you. That's what I just mentioned before. More you're going to see you, you're going to discover it was just you. Before, it was someone else. So even in this forgiving, you don't need to do forgiving, like doing. It's not doing. You just be in the forgiveness within. Like, it's not work. It's not like something you're just doing it for someone or even to your own self. You're just coming back in your own self, where you're just seeing it. You are the one holding. It's like the knot is inside of you. You find your knot. Okay? The person don't go up to that knot. Person only just do very shallow way the work. So that's why even person is beginning to see your own self, person is doing it very mental level work. That's why
so
it doesn't work.
Forgiving from your mind and not from your heart?
Yes, because this is what person is familiar with. Person is only familiar with the mind. Person have no idea about the heart. Right?
Okay,
Yeah. So that's why person don't know how to even trust own heart. Because person is so much in the believing. Person only know up to that level. Person only can fix own self, even mental level. But the thing is, it's not fixing. It's still there. The person still falls.
Well, when you, I think you've been a victim of some crime, or there is that. There's always that search for, like, why? Why did it happen?
Yeah. But even person in being in the why, person is wasting time, and person is beating own self. Just even questioning why it happening to me, and at the same time beating happening to own self. What good that why even is doing to the person, right? Person always want this mental satisfied answers.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Like, I think in my work, I have families that come up to me, and that's their big thing. Either they're in that why stage of why something's happened to them, or they're in that stage of like wanting to blame, right? Like blame society, the police weren't there, or people betrayed us, and they're just stuck in that. And I always kind of wonder, how do you move them beyond that?
Yeah. It's like, that's what I said, you cannot stop outward. You just only can come inward.
Right.
In the inward, it's not like you just victimize yourself. Like you say, okay, poor me. Why this is happening, poor me. And more you're gonna say, poor me, and then the victim becoming bigger. Right? And then you are the one putting yourself in the negativity.
Right.
Not anything else. Situation maybe it was just for 5 minutes. And how long person is carrying that situation now? How much is beating is happening to own self? Right. And then person's trying to get out of it. This person says this is too much. Right? And then it's hard to get out.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you've, like, I'll give you an example. So a young mother's lost her son. So how does she go within to look at her anger, to forgive, and to move forward?
Because you can, instead of go in the suffering, you go in the direct pain. In the direct pain, there is no suffering.
Oh, can you tell us the difference between that?
Because suffering is you just keep analyzing, keep rolling around in the thinking mind. Why this is happening, poor me, or the judgment, or shouldn't happen, or feeling bad, or there. The main thing is there's a loss. Right? The bottom line is there's a loss. So there is a pain from the loss. Right? So you just can stay with the pain. Instead of go up and down, because this up and down, rolling around, you just not doing any fairness to your own self, and you asking the fairness, right? And the same time, how much unfairness you accumulating, right?
Unfairness towards yourself.
Because you're not being fair when you're just suffering. You're rolling around in the suffering, in the judgment. You're not being fair to your own self, because your own self is important to you. Even there's a child loss, right? It's just simple thing is there is such a strong pain, right? So the person need to learn how to stay with that pain, because that pain itself softens the person. It doesn't make person hard.
Right.
Only suffering make person hard. Yeah. And then
there's that negativity towards everything in life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then it's just like you just name it. This rolling around, it depends where the person is coming from. The person just going into the ditch. It's not coming out. Yeah.
That's great. Well, that's really good advice for our viewers that are going through, suffering or some sort of pain. I really appreciate you coming into the studio and sharing your views with us. It's always a pleasure to have you come back, and hope you'll come back again. And those of you that want to have further information about Gurpreet's work, you can take a look on her website, awakeningwithgurpreet.com, and she'll be back. Are you coming back in 3 months?
In 3 months.
3 months back to BC, and you can go and see her.